Right now at 6, Carthage residents got the chance to clear out the clutter for free.
And skies gradually clearing out there this morning, but also some patchy fog to look out for and a few stray showers. We'll have a look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, we'll see how a woman uses the power of social media to find her dog after it went missing for nearly 5 months.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOA Morning News. It's 6 a.m. I'm Elise Snowy.
I'm Chris Warner. It is now Monday, June the 9th, and of course a rough weekend of storms, especially yesterday evening. Very active storms across the area. We had some large hail, we had some damaging wind gusts, and of course I know some folks, the sirens went off in Joplin yesterday with that storm, not from a tornado, but a reminder, and other communities do have similar policies. It varies from location to location, but anytime there's straight line winds, 70 miles an hour or greater, Joplin's policy is to sound those sirens because that can be just as damaging or destructive as a low grade tornado. Like EF0, EF1, it can still be pretty damaging. So that's why that happened. Now today, nothing like that we need to worry about. All we need to worry about is how much sunscreen you're going to need if you're spending any time outside, because that sunshine will return. Let's take a look outside downtown Pittsburgh first. I know it doesn't look like it's going to return, but I assure you it is, and it's actually going to do so pretty quickly as we go into the morning hours. MoDOT camera 20th and range line again, giving us a little bit of that kind of hazy view. We don't have any overly dense fog, no dense fog advisories, anything like that, but we are getting some patchy fog here and there. So in terms of the rain, we should be just about done before too much longer here. We've got some showers south of Mount Vernon, stretching west of Aurora back toward Purdy and into Monette. We got some heavier showers, especially in the eastern portions of Benton County, even a couple of thunderstorms. You can see that lightning strike near Springdale. And then we've got this light shower starting to exit Delaware County, and all of this will continue to roll on out of the area. It's been kind of part of a little cycle of redevelopment, but as you can also see here in the last few frames of this radar loop, you can see where that redevelopment is starting to stop, and it will continue to stop until eventually we have clear skies. Looking for a beautiful day today. At least an opportunity to dry out. It will warm up a bit. We'll have a light northwest breeze. And again, future track kind of picking up on a shower. I'm going to tell you right now, we're not looking at anything that shows any sign of rain. So just kind of an anomalous reading there from the future track. We're sitting at 62 in Joplin, 61 in Pittsburgh, and across the region. It gets some cool spots, some upper 50s, especially toward northern counties. Then as you go a little further south, low to mid 60s out there. We're looking at highs today pretty close to normal, upper 70s, low 80s, sunny skies, and that northwest breeze at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. It's going to continue to heat up over the next couple of days, and then there are more rain chances on the horizon. We'll go over all those details with you here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, we'll see you soon, Chris. Thanks. Well, the former Northern Arkansas police chief turned inmate is back in law enforcement custody. According to the Izard County Sheriff's Office in Arkansas, Grant Harden was captured Friday afternoon. He was found fewer than 2 miles from the prison grounds he escaped. Harden pleaded guilty to fatally shooting a man in 2017 and later to raping a teacher in 2019. Before his conviction, he was chief of Gateway in Benton County, just over the state line from Seligman in Berry County. A Joplin man has been charged after he allegedly hit a man with his truck and fled the scene. Carthage police responded to reports of a hit-and-run accident. On scene, officers found an adult victim, Derek Daly, in the road, leaning against a vehicle with injuries to his head, face, neck, arm, torso, and leg. He was taken to the hospital to be treated. Eyewitnesses say they saw a black Ford F-150 driven by Gilberto Alejandro going west on Walnut Street when Daly allegedly made an obscene hand gesture toward the truck. The truck then turned around and began going east back to the victim. The witnesses told officers that Alejandro intentionally swerved toward Daly, hitting him. According to court documents, Alejandro turned himself into the police station on June 1st. Well, shortly after 11 a.m. Saturday, reports of a crash near the Hickory Creek Bridge over US 60 Cemetery Road alerted 911. It was a single vehicle crash that began on the bridge. The westbound US 60 passenger car went off the right side of the road down a steep embankment, crashing into trees. The male driver was transported to a Joplin hospital suffering non-life-threatening injuries. Missouri State Highway Patrol is investigating this as a possible DWI crash. Mike Mendez Hernandez of Carthage, Missouri, has been arrested by the Highway Patrol in the case. And to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. Well, Vision Carthage hosted Dumpster Day, a free community cleanup event for Carthage residents. The event ran from 3 to 7 p.m. yesterday in the Carthage Memorial Hall parking lot. Anyone with a Carthage address could drop off unsightly or unwanted items, including scrap metal and tires. Innovative Industries provided secure paper shredding, and Jackson Tire Auto helped with on-site tire recycling. Items like lawn clippings, paint, hot water tanks, and chemicals were not accepted. Vision Carthage said they recycled everything they could and encouraged neighbors to help one another bring items to the event. Well, a dog that went missing back in December has been reunited with her owner. KOAM's Mitch Adams tells us how the owner used the power of social media to get Hazel home.
I would have to say she is a warrior for being able to go through what she went through.
Oftentimes when pets run away, it's easy to lose hope. For Kate Anderson, finding her dog Hazel is something she never gave up on. After letting her dogs out in the early morning, Anderson quickly noticed her dogs didn't run back inside like they normally do.
After a minute or two, I decided to go out and check, and that's when I discovered that she had dug a hole in the fence, and they had both escaped.
Both dogs were gone, but Hazel's sister Abby had been found in January.
It was heart-wrenching. It was definitely a gut-wrenching feeling. I mean, they've both escaped before and came back, and I thought nothing of it at first.
Anderson later turned to Facebook, making post after post, hoping someone had caught a glimpse of her dog.
When I first posted, I didn't think anything of it. I thought hopefully somebody would maybe spot them or have them even.
Anderson then got word from her neighbor that Hazel was seen, but had gotten hit by a car.
After she got hit, we were pretty lost. She had gotten hit and was followed by animal control. Dan tried to follow her and followed her to the trails, from my understanding, and lost her. After that, I thought she was gone. I thought I had lost her.
After posting to social media day in and day out to get people's attention, a new lead on Hazel's location finally came to light.
I had gotten a message from a wonderful lady named Sue, and she had posted on my post. She'd commented saying that she thinks that Hazel was in her backyard and that she has Ring video camera and she has a bunch of videos.
After noticing that Hazel seemed to only be seen on the camera at night, Anderson reached out to social media yet again.
And then I got another message from another wonderful woman named Grace, who offered to lend me her trap. And that's when we all came together and decided to set a trap at Sue's house for Hazel.
But after a long 5 months of Hazel being missing, from December to May, Hazel was finally returned to her human's arms.
I mean, we sat in my car and just kind of held each other for a couple minutes. And the drive home, she basically sat on my lap the entire time.
With the community's help, Hazel is now safe and sound, back at home with her sister and human family.
Searching for her and finding her was a town effort. I wouldn't have been able to do it without the people around here and everybody giving me hope.
In Pittsburgh, Kansas, Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
Now, as of now, the social media post saying Hazel had been found has nearly 200 responses. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News. Immigration protests escalate in Los Angeles while President Trump says he's ready to send in more troops. And we have a warm and sunny day today. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Sky Watch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. But first, here's a live look from Fees Park, located in Iola, Kansas. Topping Nation Watch this morning, President Trump says he's prepared to deploy more troops as immigration clashes in Los Angeles now enter a fourth day. The protests began Friday after immigration officials ramped up raids in the area. The president then bypassed the state's governor to deploy at least 2,000 National Guard troops to the area. California's Governor Gavin Newsom is calling on the president to pull those troops back, calling the move purposefully inflammatory. Naomi Ruckham has more from New York.
Violent clashes in Los Angeles County as anti-ICE protesters take to the streets, with some people setting cars on fire and shooting off fireworks at police. President Donald Trump has deployed National Guard troops, bypassing California Governor Gavin Newsom.
I did call him the other night. I said, look, you got to take care of this, otherwise I'm sending in the troops. That's what we did.
Newsom and Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass have appealed to protesters for peace while blasting the president's move as inflammatory.
I don't want people to fall into the chaos that I believe is being created by the administration.
Newsom has requested that the White House rescind the deployment of National Guard troops, calling it a serious breach of sovereignty. Meanwhile, the U.S. military has confirmed to CBS News that 500 active duty Marines are prepared to deploy if ordered to do so.
We'll send whatever we need to make sure there's law and order.
Los Angeles police say dozens of arrests have been made and multiple officers have been injured in the clashes.
This thing has gotten out of control.
It all comes as a new CBS News poll finds that 54% of Americans support the Trump administration's deportation program. For some LA residents, the issue hits close to home.
People are taken from their houses, from their workplaces, for no reason.
Overnight, the city of Glendale in Los Angeles County announced that it's terminating a contract to house immigration detainees. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News.
The violent clashes in Los Angeles also come as President Trump's new and expanded travel ban kicked overnight, restricting travel for 19 countries. And still to come, new research suggests that certain jobs are more prone to depression than others. Plus, Chris returns with another look at your Monday forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Lori Horton joins us in the studio to teach us how to make apple pie toaster strudel this morning.
Good
Perfect
morning.
for a Monday morning. Good morning,
I know,
Lori.
right? We've got the kids home for the summer now. These are going to be great ones. You can kind of make up something a little bit special for them, maybe on those special days when we've got kind of a boring time.
Right.
They're not super complicated. We can make them a little bit more homemade, or we can make them a little bit step saver.
Fantastic.
It's your call. We're going to start actually this morning with making the filling, though.
Okay.
And it's only going to take a couple of apples. Your choice on what kind. I have a couple of Honey Crisp here because they're so good.
Yeah.
So good. If you like that little bit more sweet tart, you could do one of these and one Granny Smith. That's always a good combination, like we use more in a pie. But it's really up to you. The kids love the sweet ones, so I like to go with the Honey Crisp.
Wonderful.
We're going to peel this guy down.
Okay.
I've already cored them. Obviously, we got to do that pretty close to time to cut them up, so we don't want those apples to turn brown.
Nope.
See if I can go almost all the way around in one piece. That's the
I'm
test,
impressed.
right? And it's early and it's Monday. So far, almost.
I think you've got it.
I've almost got it.
Look
all
at you
right.
go. There you go.
We won't judge. Oh, there went my other apple. That's all right. We don't need him yet. So then we're going to dice this into pretty small pieces. And what we want to get is nice chunks that are going to cook quickly.
Okay.
And are going to kind of hold their firmness, but the primary cooking on these is going to be in the oven. Because we're going to make this yummy filling that is similar to a pie filling. but we're going to bake it inside of our puff pastry dough. So as you'll see, once I get here to this, if you guys can see in my mess, I'm going to take this down to very small pieces.
Okay.
If you prefer a bigger bite on that, it's fine, but you'll see I'm going very small. You will see when we get these done and we do our filling, you're going to want those smaller pieces so they're not obnoxious when you go to bake them.
Wonderful.
And this is kind of nice because if you'll see my ones that I have done over here, they're pretty large. They're pretty traditional, like toaster pastry size.
They look great.
But for the kiddos, you might want to actually make them about half of that size. So again, you're going to use a smaller scoop of filling. You're going to want those smaller pieces of apple in there. So this is our part we don't really want the kiddos to help with. We need a good sharp knife. Some days my fingers get in the way, so
especially cutting so small.
Right, exactly. So keep them nice and tiny. And then over here in my saucepan, I've got some butter that is just about melted. And to that, we're going to add all of those yummy spices. It's going to smell like Christmas in here in just a minute.
Wonderful.
We're going to add just a little bit of heavy cream.
Okay.
And this is just heavy whipping cream, nothing special. A little bit of cornstarch, which of course is going to thicken that. I'm going to get that really mixed in well and make sure we don't have any clumps. A little brown sugar, because of course apples. We've got to have a little brown sugar. Now you could do this with peaches as well.
Oh, okay.
And you wouldn't really change any of the things that you're adding. That brown sugar, all of those spices, really good with peach as well. Even blueberry, although blueberries tend to have a lot of natural water, so it's a little bit more complicated to use those in it. So the last thing we're going to add is a combination of cloves, nutmeg, cinnamon, all of those yummy flavors that go perfectly with apples. And then we're just going to let this sort of cook for a minute.
Okay.
Make sure that our butter is fully melted. Make sure that all of those flavors are kind of incorporated. And then we're going to add in our apples and we're going to let them cook for just a few minutes because again, we went with those small pieces. It's going to cook pretty quickly. Then when we come back, we'll put them all together.
Fantastic. Sounds like a plan, Lori. Thanks. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It is 6:25 on this Monday morning. We're going to start once again with the Skywatch Storm Tracker, but before too much longer, as you can see, we're not going to have to look at this, at least for the next couple of days. So we've got a few lingering showers, a couple of rumbles of thunder now into parts of Berry County, right over the community of Jenkins. So this is northeast of Cassville. And then as we head south, down just south of Seligman and Chain of Lakes, back toward Eureka Springs, a few additional showers and a heavier one now just east of I zoomed in. I wanted to zoom out. Just east of Springdale, though. Outside of that, that is pretty well going to do it. Take a look around. Not anything else to really worry about this morning. Just these lingering showers. And back behind all this activity, skies are beginning to clear, and they will continue to do so pretty quickly, allowing us to be sunny and warm for the rest of this Monday. In fact, Future Track, that's what it's going to show. This is just an anomalous reading. The Future Track believes there could be a shower. I'm going to tell you right now, this chance is like 2%. I do not believe we're going to see any rain. We're looking at clear skies. We're going to have a pretty nice day. It's going to be warm, but it's going to be seasonably warm. We go overnight tonight. Skies are still clear. We go into Tuesday. Skies remain clear. Temperatures heating up, though, a bit. You get a little too much sunshine. Starts to get a little too hot sometimes. That's where we're headed for Tuesday. We go into our Wednesday. Start going partly cloudy, still dry, and temperatures still warm. It won't be until very late Wednesday and the early Tuesday, or my goodness, I need to go home. Very early Thursday we'll start to see an opportunity for a few scattered showers and thunderstorms out there. Thankfully, at this point, again, no severe weather. We're going to talk about that in a moment. At sunrise, though, looking great from 7th and Range Line. We also do have some patchy light fog out there, so keep that in mind. Skies will continue to clear, so a few clouds by 8, mid-60s, mid-70s by 11 o'clock this morning. And our highs today, upper 70s, low 80s. Skies will be clear. We'll have that northwest breeze around 5 to 10 miles an hour. Clear skies through the evening and into the overnight. Could get some patchy fog again tonight as well, so keep that in mind if you're traveling. Mid-50s and winds will be calm. So here's what I'm talking about. It's a very late Wednesday into early Thursday morning. Here comes another round of showers and thunderstorms. Now, right now, the greatest concern with the showers and storms from heading into the end of this week is going to be with more heavy rain, leading to more flooding concerns. I know that we've needed the rain. We've had that drought situation for so long. It is gone. Now we're getting a little too much rain. But at this point, nothing screaming severe. We don't have any areas highlighted heading toward the end of the week, and we certainly want to keep it that way, but we'll keep you posted. The good news is these showers and storms should wrap up as we roll through the second half of our Saturday. Heating up, though, like I said, between here and there, mid to upper 80s. Those thunderstorm chances Thursday through Saturday, and then we'll heat back up again and dry out once again next week. Let's check your forecast. We're going to send it over to Elise now with Health Watch.
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, are certain jobs more prone to depression than others? Well, new research in JAMA Network Open found the careers in healthcare and food preparation and service have the highest rates of diagnosed depression. Manual labor jobs tended to have lower rates of depression. The study also noted that female workers have double the rates of diagnosed depression compared to male workers. And too much screen time for children can lead to a dangerous cycle. A study published by the American Psychological Association showed that increased screen time for kids under 10 can lead to emotional and behavioral problems like depression and anxiety. And those emotional problems can then lead kids to seek even more screen time to cope. Researchers say girls are particularly susceptible to the harms of too much screen time. And skincare routines promoted to teens on TikTok can be harmful. A new study by Northwestern University found girls ages 7 to 18 are using an average of 6 different products on their faces, spending an average of $168 a month. Now, the top viewed products marketed to teens by some TikTok influencers have an average of 11 ingredients that potentially cause skin irritation. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back. Right now at 6:30, firefighters in Southeast Kansas get hands-on training to support air medical teams.
And take a look at this sunrise. We've got it out there. We've still got some clouds, but clearing taking place. A look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, Sports God celebrates their 44th annual Good Old Days Festival. We'll take you there.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6:32. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is Monday. It is June the 9th. And of course, had some thunderstorms over the weekend.
Right.
Well, not just over the weekend. Yesterday evening, got a little loud, got a little scary for some folks. Some large hail, damaging winds.
Yes.
We do have some damage reports out there. We covered some of that through the weekend. But still, and something else I know some folks have been asking about, the sirens went off in Joplin.
Yes.
All right. They kind of scared a few people. And that is, the thing is, they sound them for, excuse me, it's been a Monday, for straight line winds 70 miles an hour or greater. And that's what that storm had.
Yes.
That's why they sounded them, not for a tornado, but for that reason, because that's part of their siren policy. Now, every community out there has their own policy,
right,
but that's how Joplin's work. So that's why they went off yesterday. It was not for a tornado.
No.
But for those straight line winds. Thankfully, nothing to worry about like that today. In fact, the only thing, as I mentioned earlier, you have to worry about is how much sunscreen you're going to need, or whether or not you want to have the windows open this morning or not. Let's start with that look outside downtown Pittsburgh. Sun is rising. Skies are going to clear, and they're going to clear pretty quickly. I know it doesn't seem like it just yet, but think back, not what is it? It's 6:30, so an hour ago it was completely cloudy. Less than an hour ago it was mostly cloudy, and skies are continuing to clear. MoDOT camera 20th and range line looks good. Skywatch storm tracker continuing to clear. This is all of that's not actually happening. The only showers we have left are down into far southern, far eastern Berry County, and barely getting into the county line of Bentonville. Outside of that, this activity on its way out, which is why we'll have the clearing skies back behind it, and they'll continue to do so through the morning, which will allow us to heat up, but seasonably, as we head into the afternoon. Again, future track, it's an anomalous reading there, I think. We're not looking at any rain chances. I'm not sure where future track's picking that up at, but it thinks a shower is possible. I'm going to tell you right now, we're not really looking at any shower chances out there, at least not today. In fact, not the next couple of days. We're set at 62 in Joplin right now, 59 in Pittsburgh. We do have some light patchy fog in areas, so do watch out. Be careful out there for those changing visibilities. We got upper 50s and low to mid 60s this morning to start the day, so pretty close to average. And that's where our highs are headed too, pretty close to average. Upper 70s, low 80s, clear skies, and a northwest breeze at 5 to 10. Now tomorrow will not be so average. Temperatures start to heat up a bit, and then we've got more rain chances later this week. Details on all of that here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. We'll see you soon. Well, several fire department agencies in southeast Kansas had the opportunity Saturday to learn how to support first responders up in the air. A training at the Galesburg Community Center offered instruction on how fire departments can aid med-flight helicopters on a scene. An instructor from med-flight in Parsons taught how to communicate with an aircraft, how to make a landing zone, and how first responders can help if a helicopter crashes.
It's a very important training for us to have, just simply because it makes sure that our responders are safe as they're approaching a helicopter, as well as it gives us the capabilities of being able to work with those helicopter crews.
We can partner to provide as much education and safety as far as the whole process of bringing a helicopter into a location. It can be a dangerous situation for anyone and a stressful time for anybody involved.
Several southeast Kansas agencies participated in the training, including fire personnel from Galesburg, St. Paul, and Hepler. Well, mining days wrapped up in Frontenac yesterday, but not without a full day of family fun in the sun. Kids cast their lines during the fishing derby at City Park, competing for trophies in 2 categories, most fish and biggest fish. Tackle prizes were also awarded across 4 age groups from toddlers to teens. And over at Rotary Park, competition heated up during the pickleball tournament. Players went head-to-head in a single elimination format with medals awarded in men's, women's, and mixed doubles. Well, Fort Scott, Kansas held their 44th annual Good Old Days Festival. Craft vendors, food trucks, and more lined Fort Scott's Main Street. The festival kicked off over the weekend with events like a car show, a baby contest, and a whole lot more.
It has been amazing. The feedback and the support that we've gotten for Fort Scott is amazing. You know, you can go to these bigger cities, but there's nothing like coming to a hometown that has really embraced us and shown their support.
Live music was played by different bands, including a band that traveled all the way from Mississippi to perform at the Good Old Days Festival. And Saturday morning, hundreds gathered in downtown Joplin for the annual March for Jesus. The march coincides with others held across the United States and the world held out at the same time. Those gathering to march are from various Christian denominations and churches. They carried banners and signs walking together and singing songs. The March for Jesus goes back 40 years here in the United States, and every year it coincides with the day of Pentecost, which was the birth of the modern-day church in the Bible. Organizers say it's a way to bring together numerous churches as one. Well, over the past few days, artists of all skill levels have been creating art displays as a part of the 100-year celebration of Route 66. The World Street Painting Foundation has been working hard to create 3D Route 66 themed pieces of artwork. As a part of the last day of the artists working, the public was invited out to create their own pieces of chart artwork. Another first Saturday of the month meant another makers market in Joplin. As a chance for people to explore the creations of local artisans and vendors. The market has everything from jewelry to art and food.
People in our church who have small businesses trying to start their own small business go to different craft events, different vendor fairs, things like that. And we have this parking lot that's not being used, so we are trying to invite people here to come and pitch their tent and sell their stuff.
The next Makers Market will be July 5th. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Brown eggs are being recalled due to a salmonella outbreak that has sickened at least 79 people in 7 states. Plus, adjustable Bowflex dumbbells are also being recalled due to a safety risk. We'll have the details. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back, but first, here's a live look from Feast Park located in Iola, Kansas. In Consumer Watch this morning, 2 big recalls. First, the Food and Drug Administration says recalled brown eggs distributed by August Egg Company have been linked to a salmonella outbreak in 7 states with at least 79 people sickened. And 21 people have been hospitalized. The eggs were sold under multiple brand names, including Clover, First Street, and O Organics. The FDA is urging consumers, restaurants, and retailers not to eat or serve the eggs and to sanitize any surfaces they come into contact with. The federal investigation into the outbreak continues. Also, nearly 4 million adjustable Bowflex dumbbells have been recalled because the plates can become dislodged, posing an injury risk. The Consumer Product Safety Commission says there have been more than 100 reports of injuries, including abrasions, concussions, and broken toes. The recall applies to the 552 and 1090 models. Owners are urged to stop using the dumbbells immediately and contact the company for a full refund or free replacement. And Lilo and Stitch blasted to the top of the weekend box office, again earning more than $32 million in North America. The John Wick spin-off Ballerina danced to number 2 in its debut with $25 million. And Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning continues its run at 3rd with $15 million. That's a look at Consumer Watch this morning. Let's head over to Chris for another quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, we're continuing to see skies clear out there. The last of the showers rolling out. Some patchy fog is possible this morning. We're going to continue to clear out and warm up later today. We'll have another look at your forecast when we come back, as well as, of course, birthdays and anniversaries. All right, time for some Monday birthdays in the 4 states, and we're starting in Pittsburgh with Aspen Sexton celebrating birthday number 6. Happy birthday.
And a happy 7th birthday to Lily Kreitz in Arma.
And McKenna Pryor celebrating birthday number 8 says happy birthday with love from Mom and Dad.
And a happy 10th birthday to Olivia Kirkwood in Baxter Springs.
And Dylan Meisner celebrating birthday number 27 today. Happy birthday.
And a happy 30th birthday to Kate Wan in Cherryville. It says happy birthday with lots of love, Mom and Sparky.
And we have Jason Beard in Columbus celebrating birthday number 47 today. Happy birthday.
And a happy 6th anniversary in Frontenac to Hunter and Emily McPherson.
And we have another anniversary. This is for Vernie and Barbara Boyle celebrating their 63rd year of wedded bliss down in Neosho.
Also celebrating their anniversary, happy 73rd anniversary to Harold and Joanne Schillider in McHugh. It says love from the 3 R's and their family.
And in Columbus, Fonda Jackson celebrating a birthday today. Happy birthday.
And in Webb City, a happy birthday to Kara Haslip. It says happy birthday from your family. Have a wonderful day.
And our list continues with another anniversary for Chris and Dawn Wilson. This one is number 30. Happy anniversary over in Erie.
And in Crestline, a happy 47th anniversary to Bill and Kathy Parrish.
And last but certainly not least, Julian Thompson celebrating another year wiser today as well. A very happy birthday to anniversary to everybody on our list. And you know it's so much fun to celebrate these with us. Elise has the information you need so you can do so as well.
Yes, please submit your birthdays and your anniversaries to birthdays@komnewsnow.com. Be sure to include those wonderful photos, messages to, of course, meet the deadline that you see there at the bottom of your screen. And to also please include the date of your celebration when submitting as well.
Of course, very important information. And we are going to take one more look at the Skywatch Storm Tracker. And I say that because the last of the showers are on their way out. Like, we got to get really down here. So south of Shell Knob, near Emerald Beach and Chain of Lakes, we have this shower in very far southeastern Berry County, and then just a few lingering sprinkles into eastern Benton County. Outside of that, the last of those shower storms wrapping up out there. However, they have left behind some patchy fog, so do keep that in mind as you're traveling this morning. That should burn off before too much longer. Clouds will clear quickly back behind the last of these showers. We have got ourselves an excellent day in place. Again, this little shower, not expected. There's just one part of the feature track that is picking up on the possibility of a shower, and I know in the past we've had those moments where that one computer model was the one that was right when all the others said, no, that's not going to happen, and one did. It did happen, but I'm going to be honest, this is not looking likely. We are looking more so at just sunny skies. Temperatures warm, near average, though. Not a bad day, especially after all the rain we have seen. That, you know, we spent so much of, it seems, the last couple of years in a drought situation. Now we are a little over capacity on the rain. We see Mother Nature can't seem to balance things out. We just need to keep things even, but unfortunately she hasn't. A lot of the local rivers, lakes, and streams, creeks are all up, and they're probably not going to have an opportunity to come down very much because we have more rain on the way later this week. Tomorrow, though, looks great. We got clear skies to start, and we'll have clear skies into tomorrow afternoon. We're going to be a little warmer, though. Winds begin to shift eventually out of the south. They'll spend the first portion of the day out of the west, and later in the day they'll begin to shift out of the south. We'll get a few clouds overnight into Wednesday, going partly cloudy. Temperatures still coming up out of the south, which means another very warm day for us as we roll into Wednesday afternoon. Ahead of thunderstorm chances as we roll into Thursday. All right. Here's that sunrise. Looking great. Skies, again, working to clear quickly, but you can also see off in the horizon here the fog that we've got. We'll have a few clouds by 8 o'clock in the morning, mid-60s, mid-70s by 11 a.m. Should have those sunny skies out there for us. Sunny skies into the afternoon. Temperatures, again, about average, upper 70s, low 80s, and northwest winds around 5 to 10 miles an hour. Winds will be calm tonight. And we'll have those clear skies, temperatures falling back to the mid-50s, and just for anybody who may not have noticed, it's rained a lot over the last few weeks. We could still have another round of patchy fog overnight tonight, so do keep that in mind as well. All right, so when's our next round of rain, as if we really needed it? Well, it's going to be here, and it's going to be rolling in very late Wednesday into early Thursday. We're going to have showers and thunderstorms start to spread across the area. Now, at this point, some good news. Nothing on the data is screaming severe. We're not looking at any areas highlighted really far out, because you may remember, even leading into this past weekend, we had some areas we knew, we were looking at those severe chances. Nothing like that at this point rolling into the end of this week, but we do have the showers, we do have the thunderstorms, and our greatest concern at this point is going to be with those potential periods of very heavy rainfall, which could lead to additional flooding concerns. Showers, thunderstorms, again, they'll start late Wednesday, they continue through Thursday into Friday, and there may be a break before we get a few more on our Saturday, and then those will eventually clear out and let us dry out as we roll into Sunday. We're having another look at your forecast and the news you need to know here in just a moment. And when we transition over to Fox 14 at 7 a.m., or if you continue streaming with us here on KOAM+, we're going to learn how pets can make a positive impact on your mental health.
And here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. A single vehicle crash alerted first responders Saturday morning near the Hickory Creek Bridge over US 60 Cemetery Road. The crash began on the bridge when the car traveling westbound US 60 went off the road, right side of the road, down a steep embankment, crashing into trees. Driver Mike Mendez Hernandez of Carthage was transported to a Joplin hospital suffering non-life-threatening injuries. Missouri State Highway Patrol is investigating this as a possible DWI crash. And the former Northern Arkansas Police Chief Grant Hardin is back in custody. Hardin was captured Friday afternoon. He was found fewer than 2 miles from the prison grounds from which he escaped. Hardin pleaded guilty to fatally shooting a man in 2017 and guilty of raping a teacher in 2019. And Gilberto Alejandro of Joplin has been charged after he allegedly hit a man with his truck and fled the scene. Carthage officers found Derek Daly in the road leaning against a vehicle surrounded by a large amount of blood. Eyewitnesses say they saw Alejandro intentionally swerve toward Daly, hitting him. According to court documents, Alejandro turned himself in at the police station on June 1st. Now to check out today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
As you head out the door, again, some patchy fog out there for some of us. Otherwise, we'll eventually clear out. Sunny skies, upper 70s, low 80s. Northwest winds 5 to 10. Clear skies will continue through the evening and overnight. Could have some patchy fog again tonight. Back into the mid 50s. Temperatures warming up tomorrow, though, into the upper or mid to upper 80s, rather. And that continues through Wednesday. Then we get some additional shower thunderstorm chances Thursday through Saturday. At this time, not looking at anything looking too particularly severe, but we are concerned with more heavy rain, just adding to the flooding concerns across the area.
Right. And coming up today at noon, we're making Mediterranean ravioli with feta in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
As your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings, as the tariff wars continue, it can be hard to find products that are actually made in the USA. Coming up, what to look for if you want to buy something that is American made.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. This morning, Joplin's Makers Market was back in full swing over the weekend.
And Lori Horton back in the studio, finished making those incredible apple pie toaster strudels. Looking forward to those, and I'm sure you are as well. However, at least on this side of things, it's going to wrap it up for now. Be back here tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
And we'll, of course, see you today at noon.